Hello everyone, my name is Malvika Gupta and today we are going to discuss a sorting algorithm selection sort. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about few of the sorting, few of the contents, which is the introduction of the selection sort, the example through which you will be able to understand that how the sorting technique works, pseudocode, that how we can write the basic steps in this particular code and this algorithm, the time complexity, the runtime complexity for this algorithm, and at last I will be going to show you that how to write a code in C language. So first of all, let's begin with why it is named as, because the question always arises that why it is called selection sort, because before this we have also discussed about bubble sort. So we do have so many sorting techniques, but this is one of among those sorting techniques and it is also very important. So why it is important, why it is named as selection? So it is the question which arises very mostly. This is the most frequently asked question, that why it is named as selection. Because in this selection sorting technique, as we see, the word select means that every time when we are going through an array or traversing through an array, we always assume that each and every element is the minimum element present in an array. So what exactly we are going to do, that every time we have to assume that the first element is the minimum element, then we'll be checking that whether in the rest of the array, is there any element present which is less than this particular element. If there is any such kind of element present, then what we need to do, we just need to perform swapping. And then again, we will go to the next element, then we will assume this element as the minimum element. Then after doing the same process, that we will selecting from this much array, then again I will be selecting this particular element as a minimum element, then searching from here, then at last, because this is the last element, so we are not supposed to search for this element, because this is the, we know that this is the maximum element which is present in this particular array. So basically it is not going to work in the passes or steps as our other algorithms work, because there is nothing like that. Only just what we need to perform, we need to perform a particular loop for this particular section, and then we need to compare the rest of the array. So what exactly we are going to do, we will be selecting this as a minimum element, assuming, and then in the rest of the element we have to go like that we are searching only for the minimum element from the rest of the array. So selection sort, as you can see the working also, that the name suggests is that every time we are selecting a number of our choice as the minimum element, and then we are comparing that particular element from the rest of the array. So I'm going to discuss a particular example for this, so it will be easy for you to understand that how we are going to deal with this one. Suppose we have an array of n elements. Suppose this is an array. I have taken an array of 5 elements, and my array is 5, 3, 4, 1, and 2. This is my array. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, I have selected this as my minimum element. So what exactly we have done, that I have selected this particular element as the minimum element, and I'm talking about only the minimum index. I'm not talking about the element, because this is a of min. If you say a of min will be 5, but my minimum for this time minimum index is 0. So what I am going to do, from this particular array, I have to search if there is any other element present which is less than this particular element. So I'll search for it, that whether this, suppose I have started this from here, from 1, I am searching it till 4. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I am searching for this, that whether my a of min is greater than a of j. So my a of j is, for the first time it is 1. So I'm writing it over here. So a of min is fixed, and that is 5. 5 is greater than a of 1. A of 1 is what? 3. So condition is true. So it means now my minimum index is gonna be changed up to 1. Just I'm searching because there are all 4 elements. So I have to search out of these 4 elements, is there any minimum element present? So first of all, I'm going to do this. Okay. Then again that, because this loop is still working, so what I'm going to do, I'm again searching a of min is greater than a of 2. Now you see that my a of min has been changed. My a of min is the first index, min index is the 1 index. So my a of min is 3. 3 is greater than a of 2. Now if you see a of 2 is what? It is 4. So 3 is greater than 4, condition is false. So minimum will still be the 1. Again, I will move. Now my j value will become 3. So a of min is greater than a of 3. Now a of min is still 3 greater than a of 3 is what? It is 1. So 3 is greater than 1. Condition is true. If it is true, then it shows that my minimum is gonna change up to what? It is 3. Right? Now again, I will be checking a of minimum is greater than a of 4 because I have to move till here. A of minimum is 1 is greater than a of 4 is what? 2. So condition is false, so my minimum is equal to 3. Now I can see that I have started my point from here. Earlier my value was 0 and now my value has become 3 because from 0 I have got a value which is 1 because 5 was the greatest and 1 is the smallest, as you can see from this particular array. So what I'm going to do the next step in this selection sort, that I am going to swap these two values because I have selected this minimum. This was my minimum and this is the minimum which I have got through this traversing. So I am swapping these two positions. 1, 3, 4 and 5 will come here and then 2. So it will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what will happen, because this is the position I have fixed. Now I don't need to check for this one. My loop will move to the next position and now my next minimum will be 1. So this is going to be my minimum index, which is 1, and my a of min will become 3. So this is I have considered. So in this part of array, I will have to search. Okay. So what is this? Now you can check from here. A of min, I will be starting. Now my j loop will be, if I have take any loop, so it will be starting from 2 to 4. So a of min is greater than a of 2. Now you see a of min is what? A of min is 3 is greater than a2. A2 is 4. Condition is false. So minimum will still be the same, which is already 1. Now again I am going to check a of min is greater than a of 3. Okay, so a of min is what? A of min is still 3. A of 3 is 5. Now you can see that the condition is again false. So minimum will remain 1. Now again I will go to a of min is greater than a of 4 because now the value of j will become 4. So what will happen? A of min is 3 is greater than. Now a of 4 you can see it is 2. So 3 is greater than 2, condition is true. If it is true, it means my minimum value will be changed to 4. Now you can see earlier I have started with 1. Now my minimum has been changed to 4. So it means there is a change in the value. So what I'm going to do, I am just going to swap these values. So 4, 5 and 3, as you can see from here. Right? Now again, if you see I have sorted till here, now my minimum will be this value. So my minimum will become 2. A of min will become 4. Now if I check, now I will be searching in this part of an array, right? Whether there is any minimum element, then this particular element, right? So a of min is a of 2 is greater than a of, so loop will be starting from j equals to 3 to 4. So let's check for a of 3. So a of min is what? 4 is greater than a of 3. A of 3 is 5. Condition is false. So minimum will still remain the same, which is min equals to 2. Now you will go to the next position, which is a of min is greater than a of 4. Now my a of min is 4 and a of 4 is 3. Condition is true. So if it is true, then minimum will become 4. So again, this position and from where I have started, it is different. So I'm writing it over here. Please check it here. So it will be like this, that my position will be, this is fixed, this is fixed. I will be swapping these two positions. So this will be like this, 5 and 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if you see, my next minimum will be this one. This is my next minimum. So I will be searching for this particular array, this part only, because rest of the part I have already sorted. So my minimum is 3 and a of min will be 5. If you check a of min, because this time the loop will go from only 4 times, right? Only one time the loop will move. A of 4. Now check 5 is greater than, because it is a of 3. A of 3 is 5. 5 is greater than 4. Condition is true. So my minimum will become how much? It will become 4. So if you see, my table will be like, my array will be like this. because swapping will be performed 4 and 5. Now you see, if I choose this as minimum, so there is no point of running this code once more, because for any comparison, at least you need two elements, but there is no element present in this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop this particular loop. So it means it shows that when you are choosing the minimum element, so at that time your loop will go to n minus 1. All right. So if I write the pseudo code for this particular section, then you can see that first of all, suppose this is my selection sort, the name of my algorithm, an array I am taking, and A. Right. So if I start writing from here, begin. Second, input an array. Suppose A of n I have inputted. I have input an array of A of n. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select, first of all, just run the loop. Suppose I loop I'm going to run from 0 to n minus 1 and 2, right? In this step, I'm going to set, because the minimum position I have to set. So this is my first loop. If you see, for this section, I'm going to this particular traversing I'm going to include, because in the I loop. So what I'm going to do, that I have decided that my minimum will be every time my I will be incremented, I will be selecting that as my minimum element. Now in this particular section only I am writing for J loop. I am going for the comparison part, the part which I am going to do here over here. So this is my J loop, right? So in J loop, I have started it from I plus 1 to n, because it is running till the end, right? So now if you see there, I have to perform the comparison. So comparison, what I have done in this comparison, I have written that if my A of min, suppose, is greater than A of J, this was the condition which I have applied. If you can see from here, I have applied the same conditions. So what I am going to do, I am going to select, I'm going to change my minimum as J. Okay, this is the end for this particular loop, and in this I loop only, I am going to write, this will come under this one, and this for this I loop, I'm going to do this. If my I is not equal to the new selected min, which comes from here. So what I am going to do, I am going to swap A of I and A of min. So this will give me the output, and this is going to be the end of this particular, and that at last I can print my array, sorted array, okay, of n elements, and in the fifth step I can write n. So this is going to be my selection sort concept. Okay, and if you see from here, I'm going to discuss this comparisons and everything from here only. So if you see that we are making the comparisons, and if you can understand from here, is how many times, if I have selected this first element, then I am going n minus 1. If I move again, then it comes to n minus 2. If I go again, then it becomes n minus 3, and it is moving up to 1. So if I consider the time complexity, it is running like that. Tn equals to n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 up to 1. And this is the concept of n into n minus 1 by 2. So it will become T of n. So it will give the time complexity of n square minus n by 2, which will eventually we can call it as order of n square. So selection sort will run in this much amount of time. I hope this is understandable to everyone. Like that this is the time complexity, because every time we are selecting, as you can see from here, every time we are selecting, we are not moving back to this particular number. If I have already selected 0, then again, after doing this step, this is my first step, this is my second step, this is the third step which I have done, and this is my fourth step, and at the fifth step, I have got my answer. So as you can see that once I have moved from 0 to 1, I am not coming back to this particular number. So it means every time you are reducing the size of your array from n to n minus 1, then minus 1, then minus 1, up till 1. As you can see from here, that till 1 we have moved on, right? So selection sort will be giving you the time complexity of order of n square. Fine. So if I do this in the code segment, so I can show you that code also. Okay, so now let's start with the because we have already written that pseudocode. So how to execute that pseudocode, how to frame that code in the C language. So I'm writing the code. So first of all, hash include stdio.h because this is the header file which we need to include. Sorry, one second. Hash include stdio.h. Then void main or int main, whatever you like, you can include. Because I have got an array, I have to take an array, so I'm taking just of the size of 10, n number of elements which I'm asking from the user. I and j will be the two loop variables which I'm going to take, and one temp variable also I'm going to take because it will be used because I have used I'm going to use the concept of swapping using the third variable. So it is as per your requirement, whatever you want you can take. If you wanted to do without using third variable, then you can also proceed with that, right? So this is, so first of all I'm writing the printf, enter the number of elements which user is, suppose I have given this scanf %d comma and %n, sorry, then printf, enter the array elements for, because array will be starting from 0 only, so 0 I plus plus scanf, and this is the way how, as we all know, to input an array, right? So this is the input of my array. Now what I'm going to do, just going to do from here, I'm writing the code for sorting, right? Selection sorting. So let's see how to do that. The same pseudocode I'm going to implement as you know. So first of all, let's traverse each and every element from I equals to 0. I is less than n minus 1, which I've already explained you why I'm taking it as less than n minus 1. And then min equals to I, because as in this pseudocode also you have understood this part, that this first one is used to traverse each and every element, and this element I am selecting because this is a selection sort, so I am selecting this element as a minimum element, so, and it will keep on moving as and when my value of I will get updated. So next I'm going to take for j, from j loop, j equals to I plus 1, this will go till n j plus plus. Okay, so I'm going to select, I'm like writing a condition, suppose a of min, if my a of min is greater than a of j, so what will happen, I'm going to change my minimum index. This is the part which I'm going to include in this j. Okay, at the end of this particular j loop, I will be getting the minimum element which is minimum, then there's the selecting element, then the minimum selected element. So if it is minimum, so the minimum gets changed, but what remains the same? It is I. So what I can do, I can write if my I is not equal to the minimum, because minimum I have got from here, it gets updated. Earlier it was, I have started it with the value of I, but now this minimum index has been updated with this j value. So what will happen if it is different from the I value which I have selected? So what I'm going to do, I am going to swap this number. So let's do the swapping as we know how to do that. A of I, then A of I equals to A of min, then A of min is equal to 10. Okay, so it gives me the swapped values, and then again I can print my sorted array. Let's write it, sorted array. Suppose if I write it like this, wait a minute, for, let me print over here /n so that it can give me from the next line. I equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and then it will go like this, printf %d space and a of I. Let's see whether we'll got the answer or not. Correct. So if you see, suppose I have taken 5 elements and number will be 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. So the sorted array I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this was the result which we have already got from this. So this is all about selection sort. Okay, and more sorting techniques we can discuss. right? So this is the time complexity, which I have already explained to you, that this is the time complexity, which is order of n square. Then and how it is going to come, because every time we are reducing it to 1. We are not taking one element, as you can see from here, that at every step, one of my element gets fixed out from here, as you can see, that firstly, we'll fix with this 5. So we are just taking care of this n minus 1. Then we are moving to this one. Then we are only considering this part. So it's like that we are leaving one value at every step. So it gradually becomes like n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and it is and as per the formula, it is like n into n minus 1 by 2. So the time complexity for selection sort is in order of n square. So this is the end, and I hope you people have understood this selection sort. So thank you.